I hate to use this expression, but it's an easier sell to those that are a little intimidated of, oh my gosh, how are we going to do this? Because as you mentioned, we have a labor shortage. So that makes this much more challenging. I mean, it's great. We're finally resourced with money. We're just not resourced right now with personnel. So then how do we get creative to do that? So my role this year, first year, was to create the comfort and the safety so that people can think in an innovative way. And then we kind of went after the low-hanging fruit. What was the easiest things for us to do without scaring people, with making people feel comfortable? And that was an easier thing because we had a couple of sites that did not qualify under ACES or 21st Century to expand our after school in a way that was free to parents. We were doing it through another agency, but our parents were saying, look, we've been hit with COVID and we're not working the same capacities. This inflation is killing us. And now I'm spending this much more to have my kids. And if I just transferred them to that school over there, they would get that. So we listened to that. And that was one of the easiest things we could go with and start. The partnership collaboration is key. So once we got the internal clarity and the internal comfort, then we went to our partners, and then we sat there and said, what can we do in a reasonable rollout? I have a 3-year plan already in my back pocket, but I know that just because I'm super excited doesn't mean that everyone's there. So I'm going to take it slowly and we're going to roll it out. So year one implementation was to simply expand those programs at those sites that did not have it. And then to look at what will we start doing. And there's a little pushback only because of the staffing is how do we get those 30 days in? We have the plan. We've already settled on that. We've talked to our partners when we feel that we are comfortable with saying, yes, we can get the staffing for this because it affects the sites, right? You have the custodians, you have the food services, and we have to consider all of those things. And we have a space. So some of our TK and our K programs, they're split in half simply because we don't have the space. So how do we get innovative to say we can extend the learning, which our families want, but where are we doing it? So the offsite is key. We need to start looking into that a little bit more.
Without the partnership that we have with Think Together, this whole planning and implementation process would have been so much more challenging than it has been. The challenge for us and the challenge for our superintendent, Dr. Martin Rex-Keziora, and our cabinet has been, how do we do this in a way that's going to be a quality implementation? Due to many of the facts that Kimberly has mentioned, the staffing, providing the meals for our students will have to be outsourced. Our nutrition services department simply does not have the staffing to do those types of meals during breaks, especially the winter break. Many of our staff, when it's time for intercession and break because the year has been challenging, they don't want to work. And so staffing, again, is very challenging, as Kim said. And because the meals, when you're talking about providing meals for a large number of students like this, one of the difficulties that we've had is it's over the bid limit. And that provision wasn't something that was included, within the ELO plan. And so that's something that we're still navigating with. And our purchasing department is, how do we outsource? Again, if the funding wasn't there, we wouldn't be able to do it at all. But the funding is there. But now how do we navigate the restrictions on the funding in terms of bid limits? And so I think we're going to have to go to bid for those meals. And so those are just little setbacks that we've experienced. Again, making sure that we're able to provide our students with the program that meets the program requirements, including the SEL, the support for physical activities, hands-on activities, including our desires to include and again, wouldn't be able to do it without the partnership with Think Together, but STEAM activities, robotics activities, activities that make our students want to be a part of the intercession programs, pizza days, cone ice days, all those things, field days, the extra things that we'll be able to support because of the funding that makes students want to. We want our students to say, Mom, Dad, we want to go to expanded learning today. We want to be in school the week of January when everybody else is off. We want to be there January 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th when everybody else is off, because there's so many great things happening that we can't, bear to stay home. That's what we envision implementing. Adequate staffing, because our desire would be to, if possible, if we can get our librarians to come in to open our library so that, it's not just business as usual, but it's really a supplemental plan that, provides fun plus learning. I know I've said that before, but it's not just, as Kim says, it's not a duplicate of what we have in place now. It's an opportunity for them to come in, for them to, support their social emotional learning. So, all of that, creating a quality program, which is, in Moreno Valley, we believe in excellence on purpose. So we're not just trying to throw a program together, but we're actually trying to put together thoughtfully a program that supports our students and provides for their needs. And district supervision is also, district supervisors are, they're on break during these times. So providing opportunities maybe for some of our teacher leaders, to do some supervising and things like that is a win-win for us. And we hope to be able to do that. And we're extremely thankful for our partnership with Think Together, because there's just no way, and I'm just being totally honest, no way that we would be able to implement this program if we had not had our long-term partnership with Think Together. So I want to thank Randy and thank the whole team really for Harlan Santos is our district director here, and Richard Tran, where we're working so closely together to develop a quality program. And that speaks to Think Together, and I think speaks to our superintendent and cabinet to make sure that what we put together for our students is going to be first rate.